Get the Friendo Club set up today and get access to over 700 Going in Raw bonus episodes, our monthly Big Blue predictions challenges, and the ability to ask questions at Going in Raw. We also offer the Steven Larson comic book and exclusive Friendo Club t-shirt. Just hit join here at youtube.com/Steven Larson or go to patreon.com/Steven Larson to sign up. Hey, Friendo, Steve here.
Hey, Larson.
And welcome back to Steven Larson's Pro Wrestling Podcast, ruining pro wrestling podcasting since 2014. It's Wednesday, which means we're going to read your pro wrestling hot takes and give you guys our reactions to those hot takes. Larson, I know a lot of people still have the John Cena CM Punk pipe bomb on their minds. I'm assuming that's where we're going to kick things off today, correct?
Yeah, we got a couple having to do with that. First one here from Atticus.
I'm the sick one, and I'm bringing the energy, man. Come on.
Yeah,
now.
I'm the one here drinking tea. I can't do afternoon coffee anymore. Like the last few times I've had afternoon coffee before hot takes, I just feel like something up here ain't working right.
There's like no upside to it. It doesn't even, it's like good in the moment. Like, oh, yeah.
Like it tastes good.
But then everything after that is awful.
No benefit. No benefit whatsoever. Does it perk me up? No. In fact, it makes me more tired.
Right, exactly.
And I feel like I can't construct like actual thoughts when I have afternoon coffee. That's weird. I don't get it. Anyways, first hot take here from Atticus says, everything Cena said about Punk and the fans is true.
Wow.
Atticus thinks Punk, massive hypocrite.
Yeah.
You know, this isn't the first time someone's called out CM Punk for hypocrisy. Remember when Punk, for some reason, was feuding with Triple H back in 2011? To paraphrase what Triple H said, it's like, yeah, you want change when it benefits you. You know, saying you're not really this massive agent for change here in WWE. You just want things the way you want them, and kind of package it as if, oh, I'm advocating for massive change. Triple
something
H says,
about
no,
that felt. Something about that felt like Triple H. That's really how he felt. You know. Mm-hmm. Yeah, look, dude, I mean, CM Punk in the last, ever since, I don't know, he blew up back in the day with the pipe bomb especially. I mean, I know he was a big deal before that. He was a world champion before the pipe bomb. Pipe bomb really, Yeah, there's always been that, from everything in his dealings with AEW, people can point stuff out. Him saying, oh, I'm not here to take... criticizing people for taking the WrestleMania spot that he felt should have gone to guys like Daniel Bryan and himself. And then he ends up, taking the night one and tears fall and stuff. There's plenty about CM Punk that when people who don't know him, people out in the public, when we see, the man and his actions and his words, I think that, some people have come to that conclusion. That he's a hypocrite. I mean, literally right now, tomorrow, he's supposed to be boarding a plane to Saudi Arabia when he criticized The Miz and WWE writ large for doing these shows in Saudi Arabia. So yeah, that's kind of that's an easy shot, I think, to take.
Yeah, it is.
The
most effective heels, I feel like, are it's the heels that make good points.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sure.
Absolutely. It's the heels that there may be a measure of truth to their arguments, but where they take those arguments, you're like, what the heck are you doing? Mm-hmm. That's a rather dastardly way of going about things. But especially given that we're having this match at Night of Champions, for Cena to point out Punk's hypocrisy, I think feeds into the story. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. It's funny how they have elected to venture down this particular path, because Cena will talk about it. Punk doesn't go there.
All he said was, "Oh, I'll go anywhere to take that title off you, John Felix Anthony Cena."
Right? Yeah, and I think it's a smart. Yeah, I don't know. It's a tricky one, and I don't know how I feel about them going in this direction. If it's something you can't do all the way, why would you do it?
Yeah. I know they've kind of danced around the specifics of why Punk going in wrestling Cena at Night of Champions is a deal. They've danced around it. They haven't explicitly said why.
Is the idea, you know, AEW has been known to go to places and go to stories where there is an understanding that the crowd should know what they're talking about, even if it hasn't been addressed in the story. People should know.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that type of storytelling?
You know, when if that's what you're relying on, then you risk a majority of the crowd understanding what you're referencing, because not everybody's as tuned in as you or I, or people who read all the dirt sheets and follow the news, you know? Some people just like to watch the wrestling and like to go to the shows, you know, and that's perfectly fine. They don't need to know all the inside information. So long as that's not, if relying on that kind of stuff is in the details, it is there to add some depth to what's going on, cool. But you can't rely on that entirely, because people are going to be lost. And I don't know, there might be some people who heard John Cena talk about Punk's hypocrisy as it relates to Night of Champions, be like, what is he talking about? And maybe they went and looked it up. I don't know.
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I still think that Cena's pipe bomb could have been a bit more direct. I mean, I think that's the one thing still that separates it from the original, is that, and we're going to talk about this kind of topic here in a second, because I think there's a really good hot take coming up here in a moment. Because Punk's criticism was, let's just go ahead and dive into it.
Yeah, let's dive in, because I know you want to talk
about
to
say
exactly.
what. Yeah.
So Zondo here at the hot take says Cena's pipe bomb was hollow because he can't criticize WWE. Punk's pipe bomb was against WWE, not Cena. Cena could tear down WWE with a pipe bomb right now, but was not allowed / willing to. So settled for surface level pipe bomb parody lines at Punk instead. Even those were weak.
So I do disagree with one aspect of this. However, I agree with the general philosophy of Cena's pipe bomb was hollow because he can't criticize WWE. I agree with that. But I also think that the next point he makes is Cena could tear down WWE with a pipe bomb right now. I wholeheartedly disagree with that. I think there's plenty of things that you and I and plenty of people in the, you know, in our orbit can look at WWE and be like, why do you have ads everywhere? And you and I have often complained about, they've really, the potential that so much of their storytelling has set up, they don't really pay off to a satisfying degree. But right now, compared to especially where they were, WWE, like, they still have the fans where they want them. The fans still eat this shit up. Right now, it's not cool, or it's not, I don't think you're going to do anything by criticizing WWE. I don't think you have much of a leg to stand on if you're John Cena saying, oh, WWE, you sold out to TKO. I don't think there's a lot of there, do you?
I mean, I guess, I don't know. I guess depends on what you want to try to cover and what you don't. If it's simply the fan sentiment as it relates to WWE post-TKO merger, I mean, has Triple H, what did Triple H say about WWE?
Dead fire.
It's on
you
fire.
Enjoy the show?
You know, but I guess there's probably some ammunition there that he could go to that would people would be like, holy shit, he went there.
I mean, okay, if you want to say something like, boy, yeah, here's the thing. There's territory that there's no way they can go to.
Yes.
Vince, you know?
Yeah.
Beyond that, like, the great thing about Triple H's original pipe bomb is that, like, yeah, it
Triple H's original pipe bomb.
Sorry, CM Punk's original pipe bomb.
I want to hear this pipe bomb.
Yeah, what is Triple H's original? Is it, I'm the game?
Yeah, no, something like that.
They held me down for 18 months. That was a little pipe bomb-ish. You know, he was wearing the Shane Douglas hat. He says, hi, Shane Douglas. No.
Yeah, exactly. High franchise.
High franchise. No, but CM Punk's original pipe bomb, it was like, man, this guy, WWE sucks right now, and he is speaking for us, and we want it to be better, but it sucks, and he's giving us all the reasons, and it's all these people, Vince, Johnny Ace, Triple H, Doofus son-in-law. It's all these people. What's Cena gonna say about Nick Khan that's gonna strike a chord? Like, people are there's like 15,000 people in this arena, man. People are pretty happy with WWE right now.
Yeah. In that sense, yeah, there's not much I think Cena could bring up that people be like, oh wow, yeah, he's speaking to the gripes we have about the product right now. Because I think, like you and me, we could speak to our gripes we have, but I think there's 15,000 people in the arena, or 12, or whatever it was. If they're selling out arenas, I think the WWE universe writ large probably doesn't have a great number of gripes about what the product is presenting to them at this juncture.
And let's be completely honest about it, man. Like, yeah, we can have gripes, but we're at a place now where the creative has moved up in quality to a degree where we can make good faith, constructive criticisms about a product that has people running it that really know how to do storytelling in a logical way. Like, back in 2019, it was like, I don't even know how to criticize this stuff with any meaningful, because Vince didn't know what he was doing.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, it was just
it always came back down to that. Yeah.
Like, week to week, it was like, does he remember that this match happened last week? And then it turns out that, like, it was reported that, like, Vince would just forget that a match happened, that he put on the same match the next week.
Yeah.
And then they have to figure out, okay, how are we going to justify this? And so, like, we've reached a new floor for their creative. So, like, yes, the criticism is going to be kind of more in the details, as opposed to, this didn't make a lick of sense, and I'm just trying to figure out when this 77-year-old man's going to be gone. That was the criticism back then. But now it's like, okay, no, we're actually getting normal programming on a week-to-week basis. Now we can elevate the level of criticism and ask for something more. But yeah, so I don't know that there's, unless it's a very direct, and I don't even know, dude, when you start to mesh the real world, the allegations against Vince are too rooted in actual real stuff. It's like that's playing out in the courtrooms or wherever in the lawsuit. And it's like there is a real victim, that the allegations allege. And it's like, do you really want to bring John Cena into this saying who knew what? If that's the only other place they can go, like, do you really want to be?
No, you don't want to do that.
Nobody wants that.
No. Maybe here's something to think about. Going back to the first line here, Cena's pipe bomb was hollow because he can't criticize WWE. Maybe that was the point. His pipe bomb was hollow to show ultimately how hollow CM Punk's pipe bomb was.
Whoa. Okay, that's too much. That's too much for my head right now.
Because look, as he said, look at CM Punk now. He's basically Mr. TKO.
Yeah, I mean, he got what he wanted out of everything, I guess. But, if WWE was in a dog shit situation, it's just like, when Punk's original pipe bomb, when he criticized them, you let guys like Brock Lesnar go. It's like people are re-signing. People want to be in WWE right now. People are leaving the other place and they're coming here. So even that is like, I don't know,
Real JT here says with a hot take.
Hot take.
Seth Rollins is the most underappreciated wrestler of all time.
Shit.
And people won't recognize this until he is gone.
Okay, so I'm assuming when you mean all time, you mean
ever. I think that's what JT means here. Ever.
Are we talking pre-Big Bang also? Because at that point, time is a weird situation.
That's true. Let's just think about it in the course of our universe.
In the Anno Domino, what is it? What does AD stand for?
I don't remember.
Anyways, I don't know. I feel like Paul London was pretty underappreciated.
I just don't know what the criteria here is to make this statement. Like,
underappreciated by who? You guys regularly thousands upon thousands of people chanting his song.
Yeah. He's highly decorated. He's won basically every title there is in WWE.
Right. Is it this? Is it us critics, us nerds, who are like, oh, Kenny Omega is the best bout machine. Oh, Will Ospreay with another 7-star classic. But, like, we never really say that about Seth Rollins. Is that what we're referring to here?
I mean, if that's the basis to make the statement, yes, Seth's had some very good matches in his career, but come on.
I will say this. I'll say this. Seth Rollins might be underappreciated. This is just the give and take. Seth Rollins might be underappreciated for his in-ring ability because he's always been, or for the past 15 years, has been in a place where it's not where the best wrestle. They don't emphasize that stuff. And so he has made the most out of it. You know, obviously he's had the triple threat with him and Brock was phenomenal.
Oh, Cena and Brock, it was fantastic. Yeah, it's a great match.
Seth has had some great matches.
Yeah, he has.
But he always kind of has to do it on WWE terms.
Yeah.
And there's not now, if we had Seth Rollins from 2015, like before he got injured, or even, you know, shortly after, you know, he came back, if we had that Seth Rollins mixing it up in New Japan.
Yeah, if he was in the G1.
Would he have had some 5-star matches? Sure. I think
he's possible. I think he's capable of it. Yeah.
I think he's always been capable of it. But if he wants to make that Seth Rollins money, then, you know, Tyler Black's got to be Seth Rollins. So I don't know what he'd be capable of in New Japan, because since 2011 or whatever it was, he's 2010, whatever it is, he's been in the WWE system. So I don't know, you know, and for all I know, Boogs has all the potential to be a 5-star guy in New Japan, but
don't know. Instead, he's going to be an American Gladiator.
Put it on 5-star classics of that one thing where he's shooting tennis balls at people.
There we go. Yeah. Now let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Who would you actually consider the most underappreciated wrestler ever?
God dang, dude. Who is like really good, but didn't get their flowers going to like New Japan or something like that? Like, oh, man, I don't even know. Who most underappreciated wrestler?
What about Raven? He felt underappreciated, that's for sure.
Yeah. I think Raven gets enough credit for being a creative genius, though.
I was just trying to make
But no, I mean, dude, no, Raven's not a terrible answer. Raven, because here's the thing. Raven could have been like, I don't know, the Undertaker of his generation, you know? He could have been that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Raven's a good. Raven's one of those dudes like, he should have been bigger. Like if Bischoff really knew what he had.
Oh yeah, Raven would have been main eventer all the time. Yeah.
The fact that he fit in so perfectly on that NWO WCW Revenge cover, it's like, oh yeah, dude, this guy should be mixing it up with Hulk. He should be beating Hulk Hogan.
Exactly.
Yeah, Raven was great.
Yeah.
Raven, great answer. Good job, Larson.
All right, there we go. It's kind of a joke, but I guess it still worked.
Hey, before we continue on this next one, I want to bring this up, man. The big predictions challenge is once again upon us. Of course, this is for Money in the Bank. The attaché case is right there. I had actually done this. Oh, shit, where is it? I had a shirt made for Money in the Bank.
Oh, I saw that.
I got it, but I wasn't really happy with how like the print came out. It was way too ambitious, but
because you had like the stickers and with the tape on it and all that. Yeah. So the last portion of the June predictions challenge to crown the new Friendo in the Bank, of course, goes down this weekend with Night of Champions, Morning of Champions. And if you have not taken part in the predictions challenge as of yet, You can do so by going to youtube.com/Steven Larson, hitting that join button, or going to patreon.com/Steven Larson. See, on video, that looks fine. I'm sure in person it's a different thing.
Yeah, it was a little, I think it's too ambitious for like what they can do. Number one, it is sort of like a digital print and it's just so big.
Yeah.
And it's like, hot outside. And it's kind of a bit on the muddy side of the actual things. It was just a shot at it. I don't know.
Yeah.
If anybody really wants this, we can put it up for sale. It's like it's like ready to launch on the shop, but it's not like my favorite thing in the world. I just like to be honest with people. Like the jerseys are my favorite thing. Like
How about this?
We got these jerseys here. This is my favorite thing.
What if you do that idea, but with the jersey and the stickers?
Oh, that actually probably looks pretty cool.
Just kind of repeat it and do kind of like an all over print type deal.
Yeah, I can maybe do that. I could try that. I think it interacts with the cloth a little bit different. But we also have jerseys, and I just came up with, and I'm getting a sample of it before we release it because I want to see them first.
Oh, make sure the colors pop how you want them to.
Make sure they pop the way I want them. But I got an OKC colorway of our jerseys, which are available right now, of course, at friendoshop.com. You can use promo code Friendo 2024 to get 20% off, and yeah, in celebration of the OKC Thunder getting that NBA Finals in the bag. Went ahead and did an OKC variant of the jersey. So hopefully some people will like that. I know one person was like, "Could you do this?" And so I was like, "Yeah, it's not a terrible idea, man."
There we go.
We talk about hoops enough here on the show.
Oh, I don't think we talk about hoops enough.
And that's a good point.
Bad Robot has a hot take, not hoops related. Says the Seth Riders stalled Braun and Bronson's trajectory more than it's helped.
Yeah. Oh, hard agree. I was excited when Braun Breaker joined Seth Rollins. Like, oh, he's stepping up from the mid-card title up into like trying to mix it up in the main event. Henchman. And now he just barks.
He's a henchman that barks.
It's worse for Bronson because, dude, he looks like he's part of the Secret Service. he stands there with those sunglasses on, with the suit, and he sometimes smiles, and he looks kind of like a comedy act.
Yeah, he was doing good stuff before he got hurt at War Games.
Yeah.
He was wrecking everybody.
He became the new monster.
Yeah.
He became the new, like they literally released Braun because they're like, we got this Bronson guy.
Yeah, but now he's, see, I remember when Braun joined up with Seth and Paul Heyman, people were then saying, oh, he's just going to be a henchman. And both of us were like, no, I'm sure that's not going to be the case. This is opportunity for him to show more dimension to his character, be involved in an interesting story, and all right, we're eating crow. None of that has happened. He's a henchman who barks.
For the people that said he's a henchman, you're right, we're wrong.
Yeah. Yep. And he's been given basically zero opportunities to showcase any depth to his character. In fact, there's less depth now. He just barks. He's intense and he barks, and that's it.
Yeah.
And it's a bummer because the opportunity was there if you give us even just a hint of what the interpersonal dynamics are like. Well, I think we've seen it once or twice.
They did it early on. When he was sort of like, he's sitting there learning.
Yeah.
And then like they just stopped and now he's just like,
just barks. Like, how is he supposed to grow as a performer and a character if all he's in there to do is run fast in the ring and bark and spear people? It's like his character. He's fast and he barks.
I will say this. Big win over Penta on Raw this week.
Yeah.
And when Seth gets that title back, they can flip it just like this, where Braun takes one side glance at that title and it'll get people intrigued. I feel like they did enough work between NXT and his initial stint on main roster in making people understand that he's a character. He's like a character. He's not just like barking, even though it's all he does now. I think the groundwork is there so that if they want to flip that at any time, they can. It just won't be as interesting without further groundwork being laid down right now. But
yeah, it's a massive missed opportunity because
it is.
You know, whatever intrigue there is, and I think a lot of it's because anytime somebody seemingly is going to make that leap from the mid-card to the main event, people get excited about that possibility, especially someone who's been around for a little bit.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
But gosh, it could be so much better.
Yeah.
If there was a story and some actual depth going on here. There ain't.
I know.
The Trout Hammer with a hot take says, Monday night's match against Cody Rhodes proved that Jey Uso is more than just his entrance. I think the last 2 matches Jey has had have been 2 of the best of his entire career. The title match against Gunther on Raw a couple weeks back was pay-per-view level. It was really good. His match against Cody this week on Raw was really, really good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. You know, all the naysayers out there, all the haters saying that all that Jey was a catchphrase. No yeet to that.
Yeah.
He can wrestle. He can put on matches. He can tell stories in the ring.
Yeah, he can. I do wish that they would let him dive into the character stuff a little bit more. Maybe now without the title and not, chasing King of the Ring, they can do a little bit of that, put him in a good story, because he is a terrific performer as a character.
He is.
And that's something they don't let him showcase nearly enough these days.
No. Landon Smith here says Karrion Kross needs to beat Sami Zayn in Saudi Arabia.
Hard disagree. He just needs to have a good showing.
I'm going to say this.
Well,
he doesn't need to win the match, but he needs to win something. You know what I mean? He needs to bring something out of Sami to prove that he's right. Even if he loses, in the grand scheme of things, he still wins.
Yeah, he needs to make either Sami cheat or go overboard, something like that.
And we saw that in his match against Randy Orton. Mm-hmm. Sami Zayn never pokes anybody in the eye.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Did against Randy. I know Randy just did it beforehand, so in a way it justifies it, but Sami Zayn would not do that.
Mm-hmm, yeah.
Babyface Sami Zayn wouldn't do that. Kross has been in his ear a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
And
if it's to justify more story with Kross and advancing his story, then 1,000% what you're saying. If it's to keep his job in the company, then he needs to have a good match.
He does need to have a good showing and a good match, but I think from a storyline perspective, something interesting.
Yeah.
Sorry, it'd be great if something interesting happens, and I think more than a win over Sami Zayn, him being proven right and Sami realizing it is enough of a win for the character of Karrion Kross at this juncture.
Right now, Sami's thing is, I need to win a world championship. And Kross's thing is not this version of Sami Zayn can't do it. So Sami needs to go through a bit of an identity crisis because maybe he thinks, he's right. Now that could mean taking a loss to Kross. I kind of feel that's not going to be the case because Sami Zayn here in Saudi Arabia, he's like the new Mansoor. But yeah, in terms of the story, he's got to do something interesting here.
Yeah.
Do you think anything interesting is going to happen, though?
I hope so. If the idea is that... Because Karrion Kross, the character, does not necessarily seem to be bothered with wins and losses so much. He's lost plenty. Hasn't necessarily changed how he's approached things. Because I don't think that's of the utmost importance to him. It'd be interesting to have a character who is more concerned with being the devil on people's shoulder than wins and losses. Mm-hmm. So I just hope something storyline-wise comes of this match, because Karrion's not winning, but he needs to get a win in some respect.
It's gonna be a pretty decent litmus test for creative. Are they just gonna do straight up? Sami beats this guy, doesn't cheat, doesn't change, nothing.
No character development from anybody. If that's the case, I mean, what when we say go on the last pay-per-view, they're going to go the most boring, obvious route. The most boring, obvious route is Sami's tempted, doesn't do it. Tempted to cheat, doesn't do it, and that's wins clean. Boring.
Yeah, I feel like that's what they're going to do.
Probably. Dr. Howie Feltersnatch with this is a hot take. Gunther is this generation's JBL, which I'm fine with. That is Dr. Howie's there. The resignment to that particular situation, not mine.
So JBL, I don't know how other people feel about Gunther necessarily. Well, I mean, I do, kind of. People like Gunther.
Yeah. He got a good pop. He got some quality cheers during his promo last night. He was talking crap about Goldberg on Raw.
JBL made me want to change the channel. In fact, I think during much of his reign, I was like, I don't like this. I can go back and look at some JBL stuff now and appreciate it a bit more because, it was ruthless aggression. They're putting on those super violent matches.
Yeah, I mean, he'd be willing to do that. He'd bleed all over the place.
Yeah. But as a character, I was just he felt like the longest transitional champion I was like, I don't know. I'm not into this. I'm not into this. I don't want to see the guy get beat up. I don't want to see the guy. I wanted to see him legitimately get beat up because of the Blue Meanie stuff.
Yeah.
But I never cared about his character, about the J.R. Ewing character that he was doing. So, but yeah, I don't know. Gunther, I don't see it. I don't know if I see it.
No, I don't think I see it either.
Because he was like a cartoony, and Gunther isn't really that.
No. Now, I guess maybe if the analogy here is less between the characters and more kind of their position on the card, maybe that's more the analogy here.
I mean, JBL was, he was
champ for a year.
He was champ for a year, but he was secondary champ for a year.
Oh, yeah.
And you can draw that parallel between him and Gunther. Only Gunther's been a champ for, 80 whatever % of his time in WWE. And he's the secondary champ on the brand these days. So from that point of view, I can see some parallels. But I don't know. I feel like JBL, I don't know what the metrics were back then in terms of was JBL a draw or not. He certainly wasn't to me.
Yeah. He was champ when I wasn't really watching, so. Ronan the Analyst, this is a pretty hot take. Sid was better than Goldberg in all aspects as a wrestler. He just wasn't as protected by the machine. There's one, for sure, aspect that Goldberg had the advantage. That Goldberg was actually a pretty good athlete.
Yeah, he was very athletic.
He was a dynamic athlete. Sid was not that.
I don't know if Sid could do a backflip. It's like a standing backflip.
No, I don't think he
really
could.
doubt that. Yeah.
I don't think he could.
I mean,
neither were terribly good wrestlers. We're talking about in their
neither
primes.
were very good wrestlers.
Sid was the better promo. Come on.
He was very intense, but then so was Goldberg. I mean, dude, come on. All Goldberg had to say was, "You're next."
Yeah, I know, but Sid didn't even have a catchphrase, and he was pretty good on the mic. Could be pretty good on the mic.
Yeah.
Come on, there's a new baby face in town. Come on.
Come on, that's good stuff.
Charisma. Maybe you can make the case that Goldberg had the edge there. I don't know, Sid was hella charismatic, though.
For a guy who really should have had all the mystique, Sid really didn't have much mystique.
No, he didn't have a whole lot of mystique, no. He was really charismatic, but you're like, anybody could beat this guy.
Yeah, right, yeah. So, I don't know. I feel like there are some things... I'll put it this way. The amount of joy that it brings me to see Sid on my television is much greater than the amount of joy I feel seeing Goldberg. However, back in 98, I don't know, man. I like Goldberg well enough. I thought he was pretty cool.
You know who didn't think Goldberg was cool? Sid. Kept on smashing up his cars.
True, yeah. No! Why Goldberg?
Yeah. Austin Reed here at the hot take. The what chant is not inherently... What? The what chant is not inherently disrespectful to the wrestler and should more often be associated with the crowd's enthusiasm and desire to participate than putting down whoever is cutting the promo. Most wrestlers who are confident in their promo skills adjust their delivery to feed into it.
Okay.
Steve, are you buying this justification for the what chants?
So I don't disagree with like the reasoning behind it. However, it is inherently disrespectful to the wrestler in there when the crowd chooses to ostensibly pick on that wrestler by whatting them.
Yeah.
During a promo. It is disrespectful to the wrestler. 1,000%. Even though it does mean they're just not into what's going on. That's a really tacky, horrible thing to do to a person.
It is, and it's tiresome to have to listen to.
Oh, it's awful.
It's been, 20 years, 20 plus years since Stone Cold did that?
It is kind of interesting. Yeah, it's been 25 years.
Yeah.
It is kind of interesting to find out who they're whatting and who they're not whatting. Because it really gives you a good idea as how, oh man, this crowd loves this person, because there's the added awfulness of whatting somebody when they're speaking in a language that isn't English. But then when they don't, it's like, boy, they really like this person. You know what I mean? Like, the worst is when a crowd fucking, if somebody's speaking in, Japanese or whatever, of Spanish or whatever, and they're like, whatting? And it's like, oh, come on. It's so embarrassing. It's so incredibly embarrassing that it's actually really nice when like they don't do that. And it's like, wow, this person's really popular, And it sucks that like that's the take on it, but that is kind of how it is.
Yeah, if I never heard a what chant again in my life, I'd be happy.
I'd be pretty happy.
Shotgun Sean here with a hot take says the Slim Jim tables are low key, making me not want to see any more table spots. Are a couple of I won't call them small, but they're not large, Slim Jim logos on the table. It's not like it's taking up the entirety of the table. If it was like a giant Slim Jim logo right in the middle of the table, would that change your perception as opposed to the two modestly sized Slim Jim logos on opposite sides?
I wouldn't even think about them if it wasn't for the CM Punk, the Cena pipe bomb, because that logo is just right there in the pipe bomb. It was like Punk got put through the table, Slim Jim right here. And yes, it is now baked into my memory of the Cena pipe bomb. And 9 times out of 10, when I'm watching a wrestling match and there are ads on the mat, that just disappears. Like I can't even see him. It just fades away. But that pipe bomb was sponsored by Slim Jim. And I don't think it necessarily ruined it for me. Well, it didn't ruin it for me. It didn't sully it for me, but it is baked into my memory now. Like I see 3 things: Cena on the corner, Punk in the foreground, Slim Jim next to him. And I feel like Slim Jim shouldn't be a character in this particular segment.
And yet it is.
Yet it is. So, it doesn't bother me. I don't really give a shit. But it is there. So, and if given the choice, I'd prefer the drama of the moment to not have Slim Jim there. It's like...
it makes me not want to see table spots anymore is when the crowd chants, we want tables in a match, that it'd be a disqualification for tables to be involved.
Yeah, I can't say. I'd be happy with no more table spots, to be honest with you. I think they're stupid. Unless it's like New Japan. All those.
Oh, yeah, those tables.
Remember when Kenny started like ramming Ospreay's head into the table? That was great.
Yeah, those tables are sturdy.
But dude, I mean, just imagine it's that scene in the Godfather when Michael goes to the restaurant to kill the crooked cop, played by
Hayden,
Sterling Hayden. Right, exactly. And then the other fella's there too. Michael's sitting there. He's so antsy. Camera goes down. Slim Jim. Right there.
Or he goes behind the toilet in the men's room. Slim Jim.
Yeah, right. He goes out there. He shoots Hayden. And it's so grossly violent the way they shot that, because like,
yeah,
it's just pouring out, and then I think he ends up collapsing on the table, and the table goes up like that. I think,
yeah, that sounds right.
Slim Jim
On the other side of the table. Yeah,
man, like, hey, if y'all want to be considered as anything on par with prestige television, you gotta ditch the Slim Jim bullshit when Cena's up there delivering his fucking big speech.
But I don't know if they want to be up there. Who do you think that would be considered their, other than Sleep, their competition? Is it prestige television or is it live sports?
No, but there was that idea not too long ago, with Triple H announcing the Unreal show.
Yeah.
That, or the Roman Reigns, Vanity Fair thing. Oh, they want to be considered for Emmys now. And it's like, man, well, number one, that ain't ever going to happen. That is never going to happen. We'll get the final episode of pro wrestling before it gets an Emmy. That's for fucking sure.
Yeah.
I mean, if it took 7 seasons for Patrick Stewart to get an Emmy nod for Picard.
I'd love to see when WWE's doing their For Your Consideration campaign for whatever.
Yeah.
And like they're doing a panel. Maybe it's like a technical thing. And someone says, whoever's up there answering questions regarding how WB approaches the production of their show. Can you explain to me why there's a camera there when two people are having a private conversation when it's supposed to be when you're supposed to be documenting a live sporting event?
Yeah.
I want to see someone ask that question. Hear that answer.
That'd be nice. That would be nice. Yeah. We're changing the language. You enjoy the show?
It's all part of the show.
All part of the show, man. Oh, man.
All right,
Anyways,
Steve, we have some mail to open. You told me, yes? That's my
I
understanding.
rolled by the old P.O. box, which if you guys want us to send, if you want to send us, and then we open mail, it's P.O. Box 1814, Orangevale, California, 95662. It's in the description in this episode. We got a couple of things sent to us. This one is from Pro Wrestling Tees.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't think it's actually like, hopefully there's a notice in here like that it's actually from somebody.
Yeah.
Because somebody said this is not Pro Wrestling Tees is not sending this to us.
No. Nor is it something you bought.
Oh, here we go. I know who this is. Hold on a second. I'll make sure I know his name. It's Ken something or other. It's the Wrestling Jeopardy guy.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, I got to get your ass over here to play me some Wrestling Jeopardy. You'll probably cream me. Kevin J. Callis sent these. Says, here we go.
Cool.
Oh, man, look at this. So this would be for whoever, I guess, wins between us.
Oh, look at that.
Wrestling Jeopardy champion.
Cool.
So right there. So thank you. And then for the runner-up, I guess you just get this. I'd rather be watching Wrestling Jeopardy.
Hey, that's great. I like the hue of blue is very similar to that.
It is very Jeopardy. It is very Jeopardy.
That's cool.
So thanks, man.
Thank you so much. That is awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome, Kevin. Thank you very much. We'll definitely get on that. It's a lot of fun. It's a really superbly produced trivia show here on the YouTubes. Let me see if I can get the link to the thing. Wrestling Jeopardy. Here it is. If you just go to Wrestle Trivia, it's actually at Wrestle Trivia 1 on YouTube because somebody else, I think, took Wrestle Trivia already. But if you just type in Wrestle Trivia, it'll be there. And the other guy didn't do a whole lot on his channel. And then we got this right here. This is from Ryan.
Looks like a pair of shoes.
Well, maybe it is. We'll find out here in a moment.
Based on the size of the box.
Do this. I should have sliced this open in the first place. Out of here. All right. Got an envelope.
What does it say? This is riveting stuff for the audio crowd.
All right. Here we go. Hey, friendos. Ryan Supernova here, a.k.a. Cream Reviews. Steve, I'm meaning to send these to you since you were doing the Four Lights podcast with Jeff. Sorry, Larson, this is more of a Steve gift. I'll make it up to you in the future.
Hey,
Just want to thank you guys for everything you do and continue to do for the Friendo community. Been a loyal fan of you all since 2016 when I got back into wrestling. Keep up the great work. Much love and respect. You guys truly are my friendos. Sincerely, Ryan Supernova. Well, thank you, Ryan. I'm sure Larson appreciates the kind words.
Of course.
But I'm excited because this is, Star Trek. I mean, Larson's a big Star Trek guy, too.
I like
so
Star
he can
Trek
probably have one. There's several in here.
I'm just not as well versed as Steve is. I haven't watched I'm like a completionist.
We got some action figures.
Oh, cool. Hey, I got this con one. This con one
Look
you
at
gave
this.
me is over here.
Oh, my God. This is so dusty and yellowed. It's old Bones. It's old McCoy from the first episode of Star Trek Next Generation. I'm 137 years old. Why is everybody surprised that I'm still alive? And then you got Geordie LaForge from the Generations movie.
Cool. Wearing
the newer outfit. And then we got two more here. This is, we got Data wearing his Vulcans or Romulan getup. He's supposed to be a Romulan, yeah.
Yeah.
Some Romulan stuff there from the episode they did with Spock. And then, hey, you know what? I just realized these are all... Do you remember the episode when Jordy turned into a weird alien with a bunch of crazy lights on him? You know what's funny about this one? Do you remember who were those two radio hosts in the early 90s who had a TV show that was like kind of a reality show for them? It wasn't Shadow Stevens, but it was two dudes who were kind of like Shadow Stevens.
Gosh, I don't remember that.
Okay, I'll have to look it up. But I remember they did cameos on here like as these other aliens. I don't know why I remember that. There is so much. How is there so much dust on these things? Well, thank you, Ryan. That's very much appreciated.
That's super cool.
Oh man, it's so yellowed. It's like.
Well, it's from probably 1991 or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. I think that's when they came out with those. Oh, that's funny.
30 plus years old. All right, we got this time for the self-indulgent.
Nice.
Steven Larson centric hot takes and or music ones. Let's start with this one from Go Birds.
Ooh, this
says we are never getting the short film for 200,000.
Never say never. Never say
never. If Steve would ever get healthy, then maybe make some progress on it.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to say. You know, here's the thing. I mean, the bottom line is this. I feel like back when we did stuff like the Friendo Road short film series, we only did the podcast.
Yeah.
Nowadays, we got the podcast, we got Friendo Club, and I have Wrestle Juice.
Yeah.
So we've got a little more on our plate now. And I'm not making excuses that, look, we said we were going to do this thing, and I fully intend to do it.
Yeah, we're going to do it.
But yeah, I got to get on that treatment. I have the idea. It's in my head. It's just sitting down and writing. You know, I gotta do the sit down and writing thing. You know.
I think this is Esco the Goon.
Okay.
It says, here's a hot take. I'm tired of hot takes.
Oh wow, yeah. You know, dude. Here's the thing. This is one way to remember. The one thing to remember about hot takes. Hot takes is simply a fancy way. It's just a very clickable way to do like, hey, we're going to engage with our audience now.
Exactly. There was one in the hot takes list, which is pretty much saying doing the hot takes video was a low effort creation, essentially.
I mean, as opposed to what?
Yeah.
Here's the thing. It's really easy to say podcasting is low effort. We sit here and we talk to each other and then we upload.
Yeah.
But you know, it's like, you can't just do this. It's like 30 years of chemistry that we built up between the two of us have gotten us to this point.
Exactly.
So yeah, I don't know. Is it low effort? What isn't low effort? You know, we don't sit here and edit anything.
No. All right, music hot take. Tacoma streetcar disaster says everyone romanticizes the grunge band because of how short-lived it was, but Nine Inch Nails is actually the best band to come out of the 90s alternative scene. Unlike the other bands of the era who either flared out quickly like Nirvana or eventually started to suck like Pearl Jam or Smashing Pumpkins, their music remains relevant and highly acclaimed to this day. With both their studio albums and Reznor's film scoring, not a single dud in their discography. Plus, they have consistently been one of the best live shows in music for nearly 35 years. I've been seeing some clips of their latest tour. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I'm sure it probably is really cool.
I got a ton of respect for Trent Reznor. Never really got I like some of Nine Inch Nails stuff, but I never really got into it a lot.
Yeah, I got into it, I think, as much as anybody else did. I got
Downward Spiral.
I got Downward Spiral. I got a Pretty Hate Machine also. I think I might have tried to check out some of their stuff after Downward Spiral, and it was like fine. They released 2 albums in 2020. See, here's the thing though. Like I can only take Tacoma Streetcar Disaster's word for their music remaining relevant. But when you say relevant, do you mean that they're still producing vital work that is, you know, capturing the zeitgeist today? Because I
think it was stating here between their studio albums and Reznor's film scoring. Because I know
the film scoring. He's well known for that these days.
Yeah, and I think that might be more musically relevant now in terms of current music.
Yeah.
Than maybe Nine Inch Nails, and I don't mean that disrespectfully whatsoever.
Yeah, I like Nina. I mean, dude, you know, they are like the iconic industrial band,
Mm-hmm.
like probably ever. You know, they're like the Nirvana of their genre.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I saw a joke recently where like, you know, because you see kids wearing like Nirvana shirts and you see them wearing Nine Inch Nails shirts, and it's like, do you know what that NIN stands for?
Mm-hmm.
Which not to gatekeep because some shit just looks cool, you know. But yeah, no, their shit's timeless. You know, a lot of their good shit stands the test of time.
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate Nine Inch Nails, man. I think they're cool.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah.
You know, I've been seeing a lot these days, people wearing Def Leppard shirts.
Yeah, I see that too. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
their logo's really well designed.
Oh, their stuff looks really good.
Yeah.
You know, I think that's kind of why
Yeah.
people still wear that. A lot of people wear Metallica stuff too, but Metallica's had staying power. Like,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know,
They still sell out stadiums, yeah.
Yeah. I just watched right before we went live here, so it's kind of a rando thing. There was a video, you know, I've been sort of checking out lately, and I sent you a couple screenshots for like thumbnails, but it's like, this is the first time I've ever listened to the Beatles, or this is the first time.
Yeah.
Well, one guy, it was like the first time I ever listened to Interpol's Turn on the Bright Lights.
Uh-huh.
And it is actually kind of interesting because it's not like, oh, what is this band, Pink Floyd? It's not like that. It's like Interpol, they came, they went. It's not they were huge or anything like that.
Yeah.
But especially that first album is so good.
Yeah, it is really good. The first two albums are really good.
So it was pretty interesting. It was like, it was like a bass guitar teacher.
Oh, yeah, I've seen his stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like he listens to Obstacle 1 for the first time. Mm-hmm. And it is really interesting to hear him break it down.
Yeah.
And I'm like, holy shit, that's actually really, really cool.
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no. So I don't know. I find that kind of stuff. I find it interesting because, you know, obviously it's younger people. It's like Gen Z kids. And it's like, yeah, I take for granted the fact that you and I are old. And so we've been there along the way when all this stuff was released. So it's like, yeah, it is going to be their first time listening to certain stuff, you know?
Yeah. Following the passing of Brian Wilson, just talking about music stuff on YouTube. There was a video that popped up about how God only knows why it has no key. It's kind of like a song that's like without a key. It's like between 2 or 3 different keys.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And breaking it down between, you know, the harpsichord line and all the other instrumentation plus the vocals, and how the cumulative harmony of everything going on, it doesn't really have a key.
That's interesting.
That's
really interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
I kind of wanted to check out that movie, the one with Paul Dano and John Cusack.
Oh, yeah.
But then I just kind of wish that they had made Paul Dano the older Brian Wilson, because he fucking looks exactly like him. And John Cusack looks nothing like him whatsoever.
No.
So I don't know. That'd have been kind of interesting. And then like pig vomits in it, so.
Yeah. Remember we saw Brian Wilson in a parking lot of CVS.
You did. I wasn't there.
I thought you were with me.
I thought that was a you story.
No, I'm pretty sure.
Was I there with you? Were we playing basketball that day?
I think we stopped at that particular CVS to get some, I don't know, water or something before
Gatorades or something?
Yeah.
Shit, I don't remember. I swear I thought that was just a you thing.
No, I thought you were with me.
I don't know. I can see it in my head, but then my memory does shit like that. It's like you tell me something, then it's like, oh, I get a visual of it.
All right, let me ask you this, because I remember what car he was driving. What model? Not necessarily model, but brand.
Was it red?
No.
Yeah, no, I don't know.
All right.
What was it?
It was a Mercedes.
Yeah, no, I don't remember shit.
Okay.
I swear that wasn't you and I swear that was always just a you story. That's funny.
Maybe it was.
I don't know.
Maybe I was on my way to play basketball.
Yeah, that could be.
That could be.
Maybe you showed up and was like, you know what I saw? Brian Wilson. Yeah.
Saw John Fogerty at a Target in LA too.
Oh, maybe that was the just you story. Maybe I did see Brian Wilson.
Maybe I did
see
my
Brian
wife.
Wilson. Yeah. Oh wow, I saw Brian Wilson. Nice.
I saw Dave Grohl at the movie theater in Sherman Oaks.
I swear I've seen Dave Grohl before.
And John Tesh, same night. It was the night Wedding Crashers came out.
You know a video I watched earlier also?
What's that?
There's this great video about a composer breaking down how terrible Bradley Cooper was at being Lenny Bernstein.
Oh, that's probably interesting.
It was, because I've never known anything about like what the composers are doing.
Yeah.
And so you get a feel for that. It's like he's pointing at these people. It's like the brass section to like continue to hold their volume.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, and he does this to indicate there's like 3 beats and then it's all going to go down. You know, it's like, oh shit, this is cool.
Yeah.
And Bradley Cooper's doing none of it. Because I saw like a YouTube short, I think it was, that was like, Bradley Cooper studied for 6 years to mimic this Leonard Bernstein thing. But then I've seen multiple videos where composers are like, so like from an acting standpoint, he's doing really good. But from an actual composing standpoint, none of this makes a lick of sense. What was this guy studying for 6 years? It's pretty. I'll send you the video. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah, that sounds interesting.
Yeah. Anyways, that's going to do it for Hot Takes today. Hot take, Bradley Cooper sucks ass.
Apparently, he's got a cheesesteak place in New York that's really good, though.
Does he fake those cheesesteaks too? No, cheesesteak, that's probably good. Bradley Cooper seems fine. He seems like a cool guy. I guess. I don't know. Maybe he's a dick. Know. Who knows?
I don't know.
Fucking celebrities are all weird. Anyways, that's going to do it for the show. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in. Appreciate it. Till next time. We'll see you guys around.
Goodbye.